Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We welcome you to the Caribbean. This is approach right now into Martinique, Fort de France. Looking at the RNAV 10. RNAV runway 10. Just looking at the chart real quick to get an idea. Flew up today from Barbados. Quick flight. Passing through 10,000 right now. Transition level is by ATC, but we're gonna call it 9,000, which is the same as the transition altitude. Flying an RNAV approach. Don't anticipate any weather, but as I know from past experience with Fort de France, you never can tell. Flying in this beautiful Walker Air livery in the TBM930. If this is not a cool looking airplane, I don't know what it is. I got started a little late on the descent. But we're in good shape right now. Flying on VATSIM today, as always. So 9,000. Let's go 29er. Is it 1012/29er88? All right. Power is starting to come up a little bit. We'll bring that back into the bring the torque back into like the mid 40s. Sending through 8,000 feet. Alright, RNAV approach. I've got the weather. I'll get the altimeter settings. I don't know if I have the weather. What's the, Alright, visibility is greater than 6 miles. Clouds, few at 2,800. Temperature 30, dew point 23. Altimeter 1012. Density altitude 2,162 feet. Alright, so, RNP 10 approach. Final approach course 095. Glide slope intercept is FFF 10 at 2,000 feet. Minimums are 570. Those are set right here. Airport elevation 16 feet. Runway is 10 feet. Missed approach, climb direct straight ahead. Max 200 knots and right turn. And you go around the horn. Up to 3,000, so we'll put in 3,000 for the missed approach altitude. Climb to 2,000 prior to level acceleration. Okay. Altimeters have been set. Let's see here. Vertical speed required is down to about 1,900, so we bring that back a little bit. You can see always the setup in the primary flight display of the G3000. Looking quite good. Be intercepting properly at Vodak. Alright. So, Vodak making a right turn ahead of 032 degrees for 6.5 nautical miles. We'll get that first notch of flaps down here once we level off. Another beautiful day in the Eastern Caribbean. Isn't it always?
2,500.
It looks like we're going to be safe today in terms of getting in with the weather. So we'll bring this back into bring the torque now back into the 30s. It's going to drop that airspeed rather precipitously. Once we get to 178 knots, we can drop that first notch of flaps. 178 knots it is. Put in takeoff flaps. Alright. That'll help slow us down. Let's get that torque down to about 34. Should be good. Alright. Let's activate approach mode. And let's see if the flight plan. Hold on, let's see if I have the procedure activated. Procedure is activated. Alright. 2,000 feet. Coming around to to IFF 10, which is the intermediate fix. That's going to be an 11.1 mile final. Once we intercept, Fort de France traffic, Walker 2184 is on an 11 mile right base for runway 10, Fort de France. I don't see any traffic on the TCAS, which is good. I don't want to see any traffic on the TCAS. Coming into the harbor here. Forgot a few things on the way. I haven't flown in a while. Forgot a few things when I took off. I mean, it wasn't really too bad. But my goal is not to be better than not too bad as a pilot. Alright, turn and final. Bring that torque down. Bring that torque down now to 23. Alright, and now we got Fort de France traffic. Walker 2184 is on the 10 mile final, runway 10, Fort de France. Alright, so airspeed is good. Just gonna keep right where we are until we hit alright, we'll just keep our everything right where it is. We hit the final approach fix, and pretty nose-up attitude at this point. In the TBM. .23 on the torque. All right, so once we hit the once we're about half a mile from the final approach fix, this distance right here, once we're about a half mile, I'll drop the gear, drop that last notch of flaps. Approach mode is activated. Once we intercept and start descending, I will put the altitude up to 3,000. Alright, half a mile, there we are. Drop the gear. Drop that second notch of flaps. And that was just about perfect. Glide path is green, so we got that. Gear down. Flaps are down. Let's put that altitude up to 3,000, just in case we need it for the go-around. We got departing traffic right in front of us here. You can see. Make that left turn. Alright. You can also see it right here in the TCAS. Alright, 87 knots. That's looking just fine. Not quite situated how I want to be for using my brake. I'm using my rudders anyway. Alright, so we've got 1570 for 570, so that's 1,000 to go. $14.70 for 570. Whatever that traffic is moving off to the left there. This is the beautiful island of Martinique. Airspeed is good, power is good. Alright. We got 1170 for 570. $10.70 for 570. That's 500 to go. I'm going to kick off the autopilot right there so I can get a feel for how the plane is handling. Boat down there. A little bit of rudder trim there. 870 for 570. Fort de France traffic. Walker 2184 short final runway 10 Fort de France. Bring in a little power because I'm getting a little bit low here. $670 for 570, 100 to go. Definitely a bit of a right crosswind here. Minimums, continuing. Airspeed is good, vertical speed is good. Gear down 3 green, flaps are set. It's one of those ones where I like to say it almost looks like I know what I'm doing.
400.
Alright. Airspeed is good. Picking up on the glide slope, I feel like we're coming a little bit flat, and I just pulled out the power a little bit and then
300.
changed my glide slope angle right away. Okay. Airspeed is good.
200.
Tiny little bit of power. Tiny little bit of power.
100. 50.
Start backing off
40.
the power.
30. 20. 10.
That wasn't too bad.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened until the captain turns off the fasten seatbelt sign.
Okay.
At that point, we will have parked the gate.
So what we could have done is gotten off there at Delta, but we'll just continue on down to Charlie. Make sure our lights remain on. Put the gear, yeah, put the gear up. Put the flaps up. If I put the gear up right now, it'd be a disappointing end to a fairly good flight. I love how that runway's got some roll in it. You see that? Make sure there's no traffic. Use that TCAS to my advantage. Power now to idle. And there we are, Fort de France. And this is a payware airport that I have. I don't think I've ever landed at this airport actually with the payware enabled, because last time I had to go around and I couldn't even complete that. Fort de France traffic, Walker 2184s, clear the runway, Fort de France. So given the fact that, maybe I'm wrong, maybe I have been to this airport with this scenery engaged. All I know is let's meander on down this way. And have a look. That's where I should have gone over and parked, but because I want to get a little bit of a better look. Yeah, actually I think I have flown in here with the scenery. Looking pretty good. Okay, let's get our head back inside the cockpit here. We've got a hotspot coming up. Hotspot 1. Hotspots are places on the runway or places on the airport surface rather, where airplanes tend to converge. And you want to be alert so you got multiple ways to approach this point. And that's why they want pilots to be aware of what they are doing. Looks pretty good, right? The old Fort de France airport. I think it looks really snazzy. Really nice job. I just love having all these little airports. I mean, it's not a little airport, but I love having all these airports where we can go check out the world and see what's going on. So I'm going to unceremoniously drop my 5 passengers off. Actually, what I'm going to do, come over here. I was going to say I was going to unceremoniously drop off my passengers right in the right in the cargo lounge. But seeing as I'm flying on behalf of Walker Air and I don't want There we are. Let's engage the brakes. Turn on the parking brake. Let's move that over. Pull it down to idle cutoff. And there we are. Like I said, this is a new purchase, relatively new purchase. And there's Air Caribes. I'm clearly not where I'm supposed to be. That's alright. But I am in the beautiful island of Martinique, which is good. And I think they've done a really snazzy job with this airport. And if you want a great Caribbean airport, go buy this one. Alright, there's that off. We will turn all of our lights off. We will turn the ignition off, turn the oxygen off, autopilot off, auxiliary boost pump is off, master warning is off, fan is off. Let's pull down the crash bar. And we are all set. So, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Fort Defiance. Hope you guys enjoyed that little approach, and we'll see you later.